Chapter 7, Christology. Issues which fall within the scope of Christology include the Trinity, which deals with the relationship between God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, as well as rebirth, and the relationship between Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and fallen people. Until today, the controversies surrounding these issues have never been clearly settled. Consequently, considerable confusion remains in Christian doctrine and ways of faith. Section 1, the value of a person who has realized the purpose of creation. The key in approaching these matters is to understand the original value of human beings. A person who has realized the purpose of creation, a perfect person, number 1, assumes a divine value, comparable to God, Matthew 5:48. Number 2 is a unique existence in the cosmos. And number 3 has the value of the entire cosmos, Matthew 16:26. Section 2, Jesus and the person who has realized the purpose of creation. A perfect person has the same divine nature as God. He is unique in all the cosmos. Furthermore, he possesses the value of the cosmos. There is no greater value than the value of a person who has realized the ideal of creation. This is the value of Jesus, who surely attained the highest imaginable value. Thus, Jesus is a human being who realized the ideal of creation on the individual level. Is Jesus God himself? When Philip asked Jesus to show him God, Jesus said, "He who has seen me has seen the Father." How can we say, "Show me the Father"? John 14:9-10. Based on such biblical verses as this, many Christians have believed that Jesus is God the Creator. Jesus may well be called God because he, as a man who has realized the purpose of creation and who lives in oneness with God, he has a divine nature. Nevertheless, he is not God himself. The body may be understood to be the mind's second self, but it is not the mind itself. By analogy, Jesus must be understood to be God's second self, but he is not God. It is written that since his resurrection, Jesus has been interceding for us before God, Romans 8:34, as he did while he was on earth. This tells us that Jesus was not God himself. Section 3, Jesus and fallen people. Fallen person, number 1, has nothing of the value of a true person who has completed the purpose of creation. Number 2, has fallen to such a lowly status that he looks up to the angels. Number 3, is with original sin and stained with the condition through which Satan can attack him. And number 4, cannot fathom the will and the heart of God. At most, he can catch only a glimpse of them. Jesus, number 1, came with the full value of a true person who has completed the purpose of creation. Number 2, angels and all things were put in his dominion. Number 3, had no original sin and no condition in himself for Satan to invade him. And number 4, experienced God's heart as his own reality in his daily life. A person who has virtually none of his original value as long as he remains in the fallen state. If, however, he were to be reborn through Jesus, the true parents, and become his good child, cleansed of the original sin, he would be restored as a true person who has perfected the purpose of creation, just like Jesus Christ himself.